Good morning students and welcome back to the session. So once again we people are here and today we will be doing this continued series of sessions that we had been having on the topic chemical kinetics. So if I'm not wrong, I had been doing the calculation of first order rate constant and also we had been doing the calculation of final concentration of the reactants and the final concentrations of the products for some special reactions, right? And I told you, right, we have a set of 3 special reactions which we had to cover in this particular chapter. So the first set of reaction that we started, so we were doing the special reactions. So once again, this is for the students who are preparing for JEE Advance. And not for all the students. So here in the special reactions, the very first category of reaction that we had done was based on the name as elementary parallel path reactions. So we had been discussing the entire details about elementary parallel path reactions, where I said that there will be 2 parallel reactions taking place when A is getting converted to B and A is getting converted to C with the rate constant K1 and K2 respectively. And I remember doing the entire derivation with you, and finally we came up to the expression of what is the final concentration of A, what is the final concentration of B, and what is the final concentration of C. Right? You remember, right, that we have already done the complete set of derivation here. Then having done with the elementary parallel path reaction, we then moved on to the discussion about the second set of reactions which were known as the reversible or the opposing reactions. So when we were doing the details of the reversible or opposing reactions, I said that there is a reaction A, there is a reaction in which A is getting converted into B with a rate constant K1 or Kf, and B is getting converted to A with a rate constant Kb. And then we had this whole discussion regarding the establishment of equilibrium in such a reaction mixture, and also I remember talking in details about the X equilibrium, which was the concentration of A or of B at the time when equilibrium was established into the reaction mixture, right? And then having discussed these 2 main categories of reactions, we then completely moved on to the third category of reaction, and the third category of special reactions that we started with. Like, I didn't give you the complete idea about this particular section, but some or the other idea you must be having. And this third category of reaction that we had been doing was the another one as sequential reactions. So see, when we started on with the discussion related to what are sequential reactions, I said that there is a reaction where A is getting converted to B and B is further getting converted to C with the rate constant K1 and K2 respectively. So I had told you that the product of one of the elementary reactions, so this A to B is an elementary reaction, right, and its product is B. So the product of one of the elementary reaction is going to act as the reactant of another elementary reaction. So this is also elementary reaction. Here in this elementary reaction, B was the product, and here in the second elementary reaction, B is going to act as a reactant. So we said that the product of one of the elementary reaction is going to act as the reactant of the another elementary reaction, okay? And thus we had said that now we will be having the discussion about the sequential reactions. So if I am not wrong, I have already explained you how you are going to represent the rate of such reaction. So you remember I told you that minus d by dt of A or minus dA by dt could be written as K1 times concentration of A raised to the power 1, because it was an elementary reaction, it was a first order reaction, right? So I had said the first statement is minus dA by dt is equal to K1 multiplied by A. And this is our equation number 1 that we have to study. Then the second thing that we had considered was dC by dt, that means rate of formation of C will be equal to K2 multiplied by B, right? Because here B will be acting as the reactant, so this is our equation number 2. And then when we were talking about the formation of B, so this dB by dt or d by dt of B could be written as K1 multiplied by A minus K2 multiplied by B, and close it in the bracket or in the box, and this is our third equation that we need to solve, right? And once we have got these three equations, there was one another main equation where I said that the total initial concentration, which is A naught, will be equal to the concentration of A at time t, B at time t, and C at time t. So this is our equation number 4, right? And now we need to move on with all these 4 equations. We need to start solving the concentration of A separately, we need to start solving the concentration of B separately, and that of the concentration of C separately. So once we will solve out everything separately, then we can club them together and we can come on to the final, what should I say, expression for the concentrations of A, B and C respectively. Okay. Now how we will be starting with this thing, let's see. Now let us first take into consideration case number first, the final concentration of A. So let us take into account the final concentration of A. For this we will be solving minus d by dt of A is equal to K1 multiplied by A raised to the power 1. So now I'll say take this A to the left hand side. You will get dA by A is equal to minus K1 times dt. Okay. So now if I ask you to do the integral, now see when you put the integration limits, so what should I be saying? When time t is equal to 0, the concentration of A is A naught. When time t is equal to t, the concentration of A will be A at time t. Okay. So 1 by x dx is ln of x. So this is ln of A, putting the limits A naught and AT is equal to minus K1. What is the integral of dt? This is t. Put the limits 0 to t. Okay. So once now you have kept the limits also, let us proceed further and let's try to get the answer to what should be the final concentration of A. Now when I move further, I can say that ln of AT minus ln of A naught is equal to minus K1 t minus 0. Okay. So now I'll write ln A minus ln B, ln AT by A naught is equal to minus K1 times t. Okay. So now I'll write, so see ln of AT by A naught. So don't you think if I want to remove this ln, I'll get AT by A naught is equal to e raised to the power minus k1 times t. Okay, and from here you can get AT is equal to A naught e raised to the power minus k1 t. That means we came on to our final conclusion, which is the concentration of A at any time t is equal to the concentration of A at time t is equal to 0 e raised to the power minus k1 into t. So this is our first equation, which is of major importance to us. I'm not just giving it a number, it's some equation, let us say equation number x. Now don't you think this equation number x is same as the value of the concentration of A at any time t, which you derive for any simple first order reaction, right? So they are the same thing. Now let us do one thing, let us move on to the calculation of concentration of B. So the derivation which I am going to start now is actually an important thing. I mean, individually it's really important, you have never done it earlier in chemistry. So we'll go very slowly, step by step, and we'll try to come up with an answer. So before I proceed further, let me just erase everything. Let me clear the board again. Okay. Now see, when I am talking about the concentration of, let's say, B, I will be saying the second case, which is to find out the final concentration of B. So first of all, I'll write the reaction again. A is gonna form B and B is gonna form C with the rate constant K1 and K2 respectively, right? And then we had discussed that dB by dt or d by dt of B is equal to K1 multiplied by concentration of A minus K2 multiplied by the concentration of B. Okay. Now, so this is the concentration of A at any time t, this is the concentration of B at any time t. Now see, from equation number x, you can say, right, concentration of A at any time t is equal to A naught e raised to the power minus K1 times t. Okay. So now substitute this AT in equation number y. So put x in y. So when you will be putting x in y, what should be the final term that you should be getting? You will be getting d by dt of B at any time t is equal to K1 A naught e raised to the power minus K1 t minus K2 concentration of B at any time t. Okay. So once again, if this is the statement that is given to you, I think one very obvious thing that should be coming to your mind is that you need to segregate the variables. So all the variables of one type should be kept at one side and all the variables of other type should be kept another side. So you should be getting d by dt of B at time t plus K2 with B at time t is equal to K1 A naught e raised to the power minus K1 times t. Now see, this is the main equation, and what I need to do, I need to solve the value of concentration of B at any time t. And how this is to be done, I need to solve the left hand side. So this has, like this you people would have done when you will be, I think you would have already completed it, or you might be still doing it. When you talk about the integral part in mathematics, you talk about integrating factor and all. So I'm not going into the details of integrating factor, how to find the integrating factor and all, so but you can refer to your maths textbook, NCERT, from where you can get this integrating factor and all the stuff, okay. But right now what I'll ask you, I will ask you to multiply the entire equation by e raised to the power k2t, and let us see when we multiply this complete equation with e raised to the power k2t, some special results we will be getting or not. So simply on multiplying the entire equation by e raised to the power k2t, let's see what we will be getting. So we'll get e raised to the power k2t d by dt of concentration of B at time t plus k2 times e raised to the power k2t concentration of B at time t is equal to k1 a naught e raised to the power minus k1t to be multiplied by e raised to the power k2t. Okay, so that is the final thing that is given to me. Now just look at the left hand side equation on the board. So this particular equation, if you consider, don't you think that this can simply be written as, so see, if I write d by dt of e raised to the power k2 times multiplied by concentration of B at time t. Suppose I am asking you to consider this. Now can you do the derivation or can you do the differentiation of this particular thing? So this is a into b. So what you should be getting, keep the first function 1, 2, keep first function as such, e raised to the power k2t, do the integral of b with respect to t. So you will be getting d by dt of concentration of b. Okay. Now put the second function as it is, concentration of B at time t, and then multiply it with the differentiation of e raised to the power k2t. So you will be getting e raised to the power k2t multiplied by k2. Now let's try to check whether the left hand side of this equation is matching with the left hand side of the other equation. We have e raised to the power k2t, e raised to the power k2t. We have dt by like db by dt, we have db by dt. We have a plus sign, we have a plus sign. We have a k2, we have a k2. We have e raised to the power k2t, e raised to the power k2t. We have bt, we have bt. Okay. So don't you think this complete expansion term is nothing but the differential of b at time t multiplied by e raised to the power k2t. Okay. So when this is the differential, what should I be saying? I should be simply saying, now let me just remove this. So my final statement will now become d by dt of e raised to the power k2t multiplied by b at any time t is equal to k1 a naught e raised to the power minus k1t multiplied by e raised to the power k2t. Okay, so this is our final result till now. Fine. Now moving further, I can say that d by dt of e raised to the power k2t multiplied by concentration of b at time t should be written as k1 a naught e raised to the power k2 minus k1 times t. So this is another important equation which you can consider. Okay. Now since we need to figure out this value of b at time t, so what I'll do, I need to do the integral. So when I have to do the integral, let us now start further. Let me prepare the board. So if I will be starting further, I will simply say that now I will ask you to take this dt on the right hand side, and once you take this dt term on the right hand side, let us see what you will be getting. You should say d of concentration of B at time t multiplied by e raised to the power k2t is equal to k1 a naught e raised to the power k2 minus k1 t into dt. Okay. Now I can ask you to do the integral. So when I am asking you to do the integral, let us write it once again. So see, what is the integral of d of bt e raised to the power k2t? So that you don't have to do the integral with respect to t, you just have to do the complete integral of d term. So that will come out to be concentration of B at time t multiplied by e raised to the power k2t, and this will be equal to, now you need to figure out this integral of this term. So you will be getting k1 a naught will come out, so you need to do the integral of e raised to the power k2 minus k1 times t of dt. Okay. So you will be getting concentration of B at time t e raised to the power k2t is equal to k1 a naught. E raised to the power x integral will be e raised to the power k2 minus k1 into t to be divided by k2 minus k1 plus and a constant of integration, which is c, that I have taken here. Okay. So this is my final equation that I will be getting out of this much derivation. Okay. So now what is your next step? Your next step is to figure out the value of this constant of integral. Okay. So see, this is A getting converted to B and C with the rate constant k1 and k2 at t is equal to 0, let us say a naught, nothing, nothing. Okay. So can I now put a special case when time t is equal to 0? Okay. When you are talking about time t is equal to 0, you can say that the concentration of B will be 0, because see, when time t is equal to 0, as per you can consider here, as per you can see here, when time t is equal to 0, concentration of A is A naught, whereas concentration of B is 0 and concentration of C is also 0. But concentration of C right now we are not concerned at all. So we will say when time t is equal to 0, the concentration of B will also be 0. Okay. So if I am saying that the concentration of B is 0, how will I be proceeding further? So see how to proceed further. This I will just remove. Now I can simply say that B at time t, so what should be the concentration of B at time t? So when you are putting time t is equal to 0, then you will call this complete thing as 0. So 0 will be equal to k1 a naught e raised to the power k2 minus k1 when t is 0 to be divided by k2 minus k1 plus c. Okay. So when you are getting this c, now you can solve it. So c will be equal to minus k1 a naught divided by k2 minus k1, and e raised to the power 0 is 1. So this is the final answer of C that you will be getting. So once you get the final value of C, so what is the next thing that you will be doing? The next thing is to substitute the value of C into this main equation. Okay. So I am just asking you to do the substitution. So when you substitute, let me rub this section of the board. Let me write. So you will be getting concentration of B at time t multiplied by e raised to the power k2t is equal to k1 a naught e raised to the power k2 minus k1 times t 2b divided by k2 minus k1 plus c. So when you have to put the value of c, you will call it minus k1 a naught divided by k2 minus k1. So this is our final equation for B. Still now we have not come up to the main result because it's still complicated. So now we need to do the substitution, like not the substitution, you just need to do the simplification. So you can say concentration of B at time t will be equal to K1 A naught divided by K2 minus K1. This you are taking common. You will be left with e raised to the power K2 minus K1 times t divided by e raised to the power K2t minus 1 by e raised to the power K2t. So that is our final equation. But still now we have not got the simplest result, so we can do the substitution once, like the simplification once again. So we'll say the concentration of B at time t will be K1 A naught divided by K2 minus K1. We have e raised to the power K2t minus K1t minus K2t minus e raised to the power minus K2t. So something like this you would have got. So once this would have been done, then we'll further write. So the concentration of B at any time t could be written as K1 A naught divided by K2 minus K1 e raised to the power. See, so one is K2t minus K2t. These two will get cancelled. So you will be getting e raised to the power minus K1t minus e raised to the power minus K2t. So this is our final equation for the concentration of B at any time t. Fine. So this was again a mandatory part to solve, and I think this is the equation that we have got. Now one another equation that you would remember is concentration of A at time t is equal to A naught e raised to the power minus K1 t. Okay, these two main equations are there. So we are left with one another third equation, that is to figure out the concentration of C. So how should we proceed further in order to get the final value of concentration of C? Let me just erase this also. Now see, do you think I can say that the concentration of A initially, okay, so there are two main methods to get the concentration of C. Let me just tell you. See, if you remember, I had written d by dt of C is K2 multiplied by concentration of B. Okay, so method number one is you first write dC by dt is equal to K2, then you write K1 A naught by K2 minus K1 e raised to the power minus K1t minus e raised to the power K2t, right? Then what you need to do? Then finally you can take dt on the right hand side. Then do the integral, apply the constant of integral, like you will get some C and blah 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 blah. So either you go by this method and you can come up to the calculation of concentration of C. But if you want to avoid doing the differential and integral again, you can use one very simple obvious result that we have already done. The concentration of A at time 0 is concentration of A at time t plus B at time t plus concentration of C at time t. Okay. Now what is the concentration of A at time 0? This is given to me as A naught. What is the concentration of A at time t? Which is A naught e raised to the power minus K1T. What is the concentration of B at time T? So this is K1 A naught by K2 minus K1 e raised to the power minus K1T minus e raised to the power minus K2T plus the concentration of C at time T. Okay. So once you do the concentration of C at time T, I will ask you to solve it further. You will be getting A naught. So this will be 1 minus, so 1 minus e raised to the power minus K1T, and then minus K1 to be divided by K2 minus K1 e raised to the power minus K1T minus e raised to the power minus K2T. This will be the final concentration of C. But still you have not solved the final concentration of C. So what I will ask you to do, I will ask you to further solve this term. Let me just remove this. So to solve it further, I will say write A naught here, write 1 here with a negative sign e raised to the power minus K1 into T. Then take this with this term. So this becomes minus K1 e raised to the power minus K1T to be divided by K2 minus K1. Now see, this negative negative will turn positive. So this becomes plus K1 e raised to the power minus K2T to be divided by K2 minus K1, and this is the concentration of C at any time T. Okay, but still now I have not come up to the final answer. So what will I, how will I solve it further? Now I can say the concentration of C at time T will be equal to A naught, then this 1 is there. Now I'll ask you to take this LCM, or yeah, so you can do one thing, take this LCM 1 plus. Now you write K2 minus K1. So just leave this one term aside. So this will be, so now this will be multiplied here. You will get minus e raised to the power minus K1T to be multiplied by K2 minus K1. Okay. Then you have minus K1 e raised to the power minus K1T plus K1 e raised to the power K2 times T. Okay. So you did the multiplication, this will come there. So minus of this, minus this, plus this. These are the main terms that you will get. Now if I want you to solve it further, so you will be getting the concentration of C at any time T is equal to concentration of A naught 1 plus. Now once again you have the entire denominator as K2 minus K1. Now let us solve it one by one. So you will have minus e raised to the power minus K1T into K2. Okay. Now this negative negative will become plus. So you will have plus e raised to the power K1T into K1. Okay. Then minus K1 e raised to the power minus K1 times T plus K1 multiplied by, let me just write it, K1 e raised to the power K2T. Okay. So I know this is not complicated actually, but yeah, you need to take care of all the K1, K2, minus sign and all, and then only you will be able to come up to the final result for this particular question. So how will I solve it further? Then I will say the concentration of C at time T is equal to A naught. You have 1 plus. Now see, this is K1 e raised to the power K2T. Okay, and this then we have, so see, this is K1 e raised to the power minus K1t, and this is K2 e raised to the power minus K2t. So when you solve it further, what will be the final value that you will be getting? You will get K1 e raised to the power minus K2t. So K1 e raised to the power, I think this was a minus sign. So K1 e raised to the power minus K2t. Then we will have minus of K2 e raised to the power minus K1t, that is also correct, which is to be divided by K2 minus K1. And if I check it further, you have e raised to the power minus K1 into t into K1 and minus K1 e raised to the power minus K1 into t. These two will get cancelled, and this is the final equation. So you can also check this negative and positive sign, because this is really important, else you will be getting a different result. So what should I be finding out? Now I can simply write the final concentration of C at any time will be A naught, then we have 1 plus K1 e raised to the power minus K2t minus K2 e raised to the power minus K1t to be divided by K2 minus K1. Okay. So guys, these three things that I have written, these three main equations for the concentration of A, concentration of B and concentration of C at any time t, these are the three most important equations for this particular derivation. Okay. So we will be doing till here only for today's class, and for other class we will continue further. Now just to give you a recap of what we had started in today's session and where we ended up the complete discussion. I said that we will be doing the details of sequential reactions where A will get converted to B and B will get converted to C with the rate constant K1 and K2 respectively. So first of all, I had written separate equations for the rate of usage of A, rate of formation of C, and what is the overall rate of formation of B. So I had written minus dA by dt is equal to K1 into A, dC by dt is equal to K2 into B, and also I had written dB by dt is equal to K1A minus K2B. Fine. Then first of all, I solved this minus dA by dt is equal to K1 into A, and we finally got A at any time t is equal to A naught e raised to the power minus K1t, which is the same expression that we would have got if the equation, like if the reaction would have been considered to be just a normal first order reaction. Okay. After that, then we moved on to the calculation of concentration of B at any time t, with which we struggled like anything, because then we have to introduce that factor of integration factor IF e raised to the power something something we need to multiply, and finally solving everything we got the value of concentration of B at any time t. Now once this is also done, so rather than solving the differential for C again, like rather than solving d by dt of C should be equal to K2 into B, I didn't go to that thing, rather I approached it in a different manner. I said that the total A naught is equal to AT plus BT plus CT. AT I know, BT I know, CT I don't know, but A naught I know. So on substituting all the values and solving them further, we finally got the value of concentration of C at time t. Okay. So these were the three main values that we aimed to derive in today's class, and I think we have accomplished the task also. Now the next thing that is coming to my mind is to tell you the graphical representation, like how or what is the relationship between K1 and K2, whether K1 can be greater than K2, K1 can be less than K2, K1 can be equal to K2. So all those cases we will be discussing in the next class. But I would like to give you a homework. You do me a favor and you try to figure out what should be the maximum concentration of B that you can get in the reaction. So I just want you to find out what should be the maximum value of B that you can obtain from a sequential reaction. Think how you can move for the discussion related to the maximum concentration. By the way, a hint I would like to give you. So you have done this maxima and minima concept in maths, right? When it is a maxima, what is the condition? When it is a minima, what is the condition? Or when these are two, what should I say? These points are called some special points in maths, right? When the curve goes in the upward or in the downward direction. The ones which are having tangent is equal to 0. So I don't know what I'm speaking. I just wanted to give you a hint, and for the super intelligent people, you would have got some hint how to proceed to this question, right? So please make sure that you come up with an answer to finding out how to get the maximum concentration of B at any time in the entire overall reaction. So I think that is it for today. Then we will be moving further in the next class. So I'll be meeting soon. Till that time, take care. Bye-bye.